Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we have landed on Zagara. We're on the final row! The final row! Look at it! We're almost done! Zagara, I thought received a rework in the past year, but it was actually like a year and a half ago, so we don't even have to talk about that. We can just talk about Zagara as she was in the Nexus this year. And this is the first year that I've actually paid any attention to Zagara at all. I'm getting a phone call. I thought it was my alarm to wake up. That's going to happen at some time today. My alarm's going to go off. I need to turn that off. She is, in my opinion, one of the bigger lane bullies in the game. Now, with the 2018 changes to the region globes that we just got a few days ago at the time of this recording, that may not be the case. She was able to win the lane because she could just constantly harass someone with a full lane of minions, keeping her safe. Like keeping those minions in front of her. If our opponent in lane can simply walk into those minions and grab 2 region globes, that may be enough for them to kind of combat us a little bit. I don't know. Haven't played her since the changes, but great character. Hopefully I could show you a little thing or two about a thing or two. Currently undefeated EU with Zagara, by the way. We've been doing Europe Team League every Friday over on Squadron. And, this is a character you can play with a high latency, and I don't think you're really affected that much because it's a lot of, like, set it and forget it. Oh, we'll put a Mutalisk over here. It'll do its job. Don't worry. But, yeah, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Let's go have some fun. Also, these skins are fantastic. These were shown off at Gamescom. I absolutely love them. I think they're so cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is going to be a weird matchup here. The friendly team Zagara, Kel'Thuzad, Samuro, Abathur, Uther. The enemy team Junkrat, Illidan, Nova, Hanzo, Alex Sarazo. Really, really weird. Good luck, have fun. If Illidan goes hunt, we could be in a lot of danger. If Nova harasses us all the time, we could be in a lot of danger. And we're kind of down a team member for the first 10 levels of the game. So definitely a weird instance to find ourselves in. Looks like our Abathur is going for a damage build. Okay, that's fine. All right, we'll figure this out. We were talking while, by the way, these are recorded live on Twitch. Some of them, anyway. This one is one of them. And we were talking about how Junkrat might be annoying to verse in the off lane. I've never gone up against a Junkrat, but I have a feeling that I might be today. Why Samuro's coming down to help me, I have no idea. So we're going to go for Volatile Acid here. So our Banelings do more damage to non-heroic targets. God damn it. So we can do things like kind of step to the side of a minion wave, throw all of our Banelings out. Let me get top, I guess. We can stand to the side of a minion wave, like right about here, throw Banelings in, and kill the mage and the row in the back. Really, really, really easily. Or not. I don't know. Soak. I was like, hey, let me get top. Then Uther go. Then Samuro left bottom. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna stand here. Just gonna do my job here. I'm gonna soak this lane. There's not a really easy way for me to keep creep down versus this team. But yeah, if you get this ability, you want to just stand off to the side of the lane so you can kill the mages and the ranged ones right away. You don't really want to hit the warriors with those banelings because they'll just soak up all the damage. You get a lot more value just stepping to the side. Looks like we do see Illidan jumping forward. I'm going to hit him with as many banelings as I can, and then try to harass Hanzo a little bit here. Like I said, this will be a little difficult of a game. Hala's role, I said Hala, which isn't even a character. Zagara's role is to usually take the solo lane, the lane you want someone to just stick in all of the time, and be the 1v1. So on Dragonshire, it's the top lane. It's the top lane because the other lanes have so much mercenary presence that you want more teammates there. On this map, it's usually top, but I'm just sitting bottom. I don't really know why. I always get them backwards, if I'm totally honest with you. I always forget which is the off lane on this map. Then on Dragonshire, it's top. On Braxis, it's top. just kind of where you don't really need your whole team to be for various reasons. And we're dead again. What you're seeing now is the way that you kill Zagara. Because she is so good in 1v1 lanes, you have to be rotated on in order to die. If the enemy team does not gank me, Zagara pretty much wins every single 1v1 in the game, as far as I know. We are going to pick up serrated spines at level 4 and just auto-attack these guys to scale up our damage. We are going to be able to get more survivability later in the game, but as you may be able to tell, they have a lot of burst damage right now, so that's a little difficult to deal with. A little fucking difficult. You know, at this rate, I say let them have bottom, and I just rotate. We could just rotate with our team and clear this stuff out really easily. I think that might be the better way of playing this, just because we're so fucking squishy and they have so much damage. So I'm just going to creep up over here and try to be ahead of their rotations and try to push into their walls as much as I can. Now, this strategy might be a little outdated as well with the 2018 changes because towers no longer have ammunition, so this used to be really effective for teams to do. Nowadays, it may not be as effective. You may not get as much value out of this. Junkrat for the enemy team was trying to kill off our Samuro, but it looks like he's going to be able to get out of there no problem. I could just attack these Nova decoys and actually get a fair amount of damage for our serrated spines from doing that. Let's just throw our banelings forward here. Try to stay back. Just let that push into the tower and then rotate back to middle. Just pushing up even a little bit in the bottom lane was proving to be fatal to our health, so we need to make adjustments where we can. Currently, I'm the only one soaking middle and top right now. Abathur is up in the top lane, so theoretically he could be getting XP, but the lane is so far away from him that he wouldn't actually be generating any. Junkrat knows we're here. Let's get a few auto attacks in, send in the Hydralisk. So if you've never seen Zagara before, her Q ability are the banelings. We have 4 charges of these now. This used to be like a single cast and you would shoot a bunch out, but with the rework she received a year and a half ago, that was changed. Our W ability is the Hunter Killer. Also known as the Hydralisk, where you point and click on an enemy and it sends out a really, really deadly space bug to fight it. Really good at zoning people away from the minion wave, which is why Zagara is so dominant. If they don't kill that, it just does so much fucking damage that it's incredibly hard to deal with. We're just going to move up and get some free auto attacks in here. Doesn't matter if this is a real Nova or a clone, she's going to be fueling my auto attack damage. So I'm just going to stand right here and attack this decoy. Even though it's a decoy, it still counts as a hero, so it's still going to be scaling up my damage. The enemy team does get the first turn in, so they are going to have spiders pushing into us, which is totally fine with me. Totally fine with me, boys. We picked the level 7 talent that allows our banelings to slow down our adversaries. Might make it a little bit easier to get away from characters like Illidan, although it's not going to be a walk in the park by any means. We're still going to have a hard time getting away from him. I am trying really hard to keep creep down in all the areas that I'm roaming towards because creep, which is our trait, increases our auto attack range by 20%, so I can sit a little bit further back. It also gives us increased movement speed, so I should be able to kite around these enemies a little effectively if we indeed are on creep. Looks like Junkrat is going to be able to get out of there, so we're just going to throw all of our banelings onto the Spider Queen and try to kill her off as soon as possible. As he walks back in, we just want to try to land as many auto attacks on him as we can, and if they decide to push up here, we're just going to shove a baneling into their face and walk away without a care in the world. Bottom lane seems to be having a hard time, but we can't really respond to that in a quick manner anyway. Let's get some auto attacks on that Nova. And just back up to safety. Now, like I said, normally you would not be roaming on Zagara. Normally you would not be rotating like this. You would be in one area and you'd be trying to push it out as much as you can. But with this enemy team and how fast they can kill me, we just had to make some adjustments. Looks like the enemy team's Illidan did pick up the hunt, so he is going to be a global threat. I was trying to double back so he didn't throw me anywhere I didn't want to be. Looks like he just didn't throw me anywhere I didn't want to be. Alex Straza looking pretty deep over here. Illidan is moving out as well. Let's just try to deal as much damage to him as we can. Although we took 2 steps out of line and we are once again going to be focused down. fighting while we were down on the talent tier there proved to be a little more than we could handle. I thought if we had the numbers advantage there, it might be a little okay. But it didn't quite work out too well for us. Hard game. Really, really fucking hard game. So, we're trying to defend middle right now. I don't know how well that's going to go. We do have Kel'Thuzad there, and a lot of targets for him to throw his abilities into. But, this one's going to be difficult. We are going to go for the Nidus Network, which is a ability that allows us to get around the map significantly easier. So we can do things like clean up pushes, maybe sneak a turn in, do various things like that. How the Nidus Network works is you need 2 ends of the network in order for it to be successful. You go into one worm and out the other worm. This also works as basically a healing fountain, a healing well. If you are in the Nidus Network, you are going to be getting healed up. Nice kill on Illidan there. Good stuns by the friendly team. And if you sit in there for a few seconds, basically it removes the need for you to go back to the base, which can be really nice. I have one up in the top lane right now. You can only place these down on creep. So it's good to have good creep spread out on the map before you hit level 10. They are cleaning up my creep quite well between Alexstrasza, between Hanzo being able to spot the tumors and all that stuff. So, you know, kind of fucking irritating game there. But now we can jump in between the bottom lane and the top lane. So we can effectively split push, throw out a Mutalisk, throw out some Banelings, throw out some Roaches, and then go back to another lane and do the same thing. So this should enable our team to always be together, always be doing something, while I can punish the lanes that the enemy team is not paying attention to, like top lane here. And then we just back the fuck up, get in our Nidus, and do the same thing to the bottom lane. That was an interesting path you decided to take there, Zagara. Very, very interesting path. Looks like there is a team fight happening down here, at least a little bit. The enemy team moving in force. But it looks like we're going to be backing up now. So the Nidus Network was nerfed in the past couple months. It had its cooldown increased by something like 30 or 40 seconds. It was a pretty big nerf, making it so you can't quite be everywhere all of the time. I'm going to try to defend top to the best of my ability because that is my most aggressive Nidus. Look at all this creep just being killed all the time. And I want to keep the Nidus here for as long as possible. While we do have the Nidus Network talent, any auto attacks that we do while we are on creep do reduce our cooldowns. So we can spam more Mutalisk, we can spam more Hydralisk. As long as we are attacking on creep, we are a lot more effective offensively. I want to try to get in this, but we need to make sure that we're not overreaching as we try to move in. Looks like Hanzo is going to be taken down. We need more creep. And you know what? Let's just focus on killing this spider here. Wow, that's a lot of damage from that tire. Holy crap, that was a lot of damage. Bottom lane needs a little bit of help, so we'll move up to the top lane, jump in our Nidus, and work our way down there. We are going to go for protective coating, which is going to give us armor while we are on creep. So, if the enemy team tries to continue doing their ganks on me like they were in the early game, well, now we have 20 armor, which is a pretty significant amount of damage reduction. We've reached the point where we have a Nidus in every single lane, so that means we can go ahead and put one down at the base as well. Just in case we die, we'll be able to jump in this Nidus and relocate anywhere we want to fairly quickly. And we're just going to hop in here, regenerate our mana down here at the bottom left, and then hop up wherever we are needed, which it looks like we can get some more damage up in the top lane and save this wall from going down. So you can see that once you hit level 10 on Zagara, you become pretty much a global presence character. You can be anywhere within a few seconds. Within like 10 seconds notice, you can be anywhere on the map, which is really, really good for making her like an objective character on Dragonshire. She can control all the shrines if she's able to set up. Makes her really good on maps like Warhead Junction. She can actually get a lot of nukes on that map. And like I said, normally our laning phase would go a lot different. You would normally stick Zagara in a lane where she's only fighting one opponent. Usually your team would also be putting enough pressure on the map to distract the enemy team from really pushing in against you. We really didn't have that luxury here today. Hopefully you get a stun on Illidan if he continues pushing. I'm trying to move back, but I'm getting body blocked by our Uther. We do have enough for our first turn in. Samuro is saying if we are able to do so. I don't really think making the Abathur copy of Zagara is necessarily the best play. But while they're fighting middle over nothing, we'll just push out top a little bit more to the best of our ability. Always important to have that creep down, not only for the armor, but for the cooldown reduction. And now that they're rotating up here, hopefully we can get away. Nope, we're dead again. All right, feels real good, man. Feels real good. Great comp to play Zagara against. Feels phenomenal. Hopefully they don't kill my Nidus Worm up there, although it is very exposed right now. Will this be a kill on Nova? It looks like she is going to out-juke our Samuro player here, and now he's going to find himself surrounded by every member of the enemy team as he is trying to get away. It looks like he will be able to make it out of there, though. Basically, having the Abathur and Zagara on the same team means we don't have enough map presence for them to be distracted in other places. So whenever I step out at all, we're immediately focused. Whereas if we had a full team kind of pushing these things, they would able to form enough of a distraction that we wouldn't necessarily always be in fucking danger, like you've kind of seen us in this whole game. Kind of disheartening. I was really excited about this Zagara video. It's just not going as well as I had hoped. Illidan is up in the top lane right now. We may be able to do a little bit of pushing down here. Before we get going too much, though, we are going to need a Nidus to get the fuck out. So we'll put that right there. And try to shove this in. Looks like the enemy team was able to get their third turn in a row. Once again, never a position you want to find yourself in. They are going to be putting a lot of pressure up in the top lane right now. Picking up a kill on Uther. I might be able to get this building down. Actually, we don't see Illidan, so that's my cue to get the fuck out of town. We are going to be going for the Mutalisk here. Mutalisk also received a nerf in the past year. Mutalisks are really, really strong with this kind of a playstyle because how it works is the Mutalisk turn into, well, they're an air unit, right? So they turn into a unit that instead of crawling on the ground, flies through the skies. And they will continue to push the lane that you summon the Mutalisk in. So top lane now has more pushing power, and I'm generating more XP for our team because the Mutalisk is in it. Now, these used to last for like 45 seconds or something. They lasted a ridiculous amount of time. That is no longer the case. But we can still have 3 or 4 Mutalisks pushing the same lane, adding a lot to the lane pressure that the lane has. We can also just kind of skip in between each lane, summon a Mutalisk, get a Nidus Worm, and then go somewhere else to keep every lane on the map pushing in some capacity. Looks like they were able to find my Nidus down there. Now, if the enemy team is in a really dominant position, this becomes more difficult to do, but we can scurry up to the top lane really fast, put a Mutalisk down, then Nidus Worm out over here or something to safety. Just to keep this pushing a little bit more. No, don't come with me, little Mutalisk. Go to the... The fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Okay. Okay. Alright. We're gonna pretend like we didn't see that. We're gonna pretend like we didn't see that. We'll attack over the wall, get a Mutalisk to help this guy. Go back up to the top lane, put another Mutalisk down. Hopefully he doesn't do that same move he just did. That would make me really sad. We are vulnerable to an Illidan hunt right now, but I'm trying to just get in, get out, never be on the map for too long. Always moving around, always hitting from a different angle. And to me, this is a really, really fun way to play. It looks like Nova was able to find my Nidus up there. If the enemy team is actively hunting my Nidus, though, it does kind of just completely hurt the playstyle. 100%. Just really hurts the playstyle. We got our first turn in of the game. I'm pretty excited about that. We know the enemy team is doing their night camp over here because we can still see that on the map. I'm going to remove as much of their vision as I can and try to push in here. Looks like we might be fighting middle, but I'm going to stay strong. I'm just going to keep pushing this. I mean, if Samuro wants to dick around in there, that's fine, but he should not be dying for a camp. That is for sure, especially not when the enemy team is level 20. So we push bottom. Let's rotate back to the middle lane. And I'm going to... Actually, what we could do is knight us up top again, because we still have our creep there. And push that really quickly as well. We do need to be worried. We are in range of Illidan's hunt here. Whether or not he notices we're in range of that hunt is maybe a different story, but I'm just trying to jump around the map as much as I can so they never really know where to look for me. The only lane left to push is the middle here. So let's try to move in with our team. Try to be effective as we can here. We need more creep on the ground to protect us. We have hit level 20, so I'm going to go for the Endless Creep talent. It makes our creep spread to a wider area, so we have more vision on the map. It also, I believe, lowers the cooldown. Creep tumor cast range is increased by 2,000%, so if we need to, like, knight us over to the top right of the map there, we can do that really easily, actually. I need to back up, need to back up, need to back up. We don't have our whole team there, so we definitely shouldn't be fighting. Also, creep lasts longer, and Zagara gains more movement speed. So no cooldown reduction, but the creep does last longer. Like I said, this enemy team has been doing a pretty good job of clearing it out, so hopefully that doesn't continue to be a problem. Are you really fucking doing, boss? You really fucking doing, boss? What a terrible idea. What the fuck are you doing? What just a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Oh my... You know, I'm trying to... I know this is a quick match, but I am trying to take these games seriously today. And we are just getting the most fucking weird teams. Why did you help me, Pally? Why were you doing it? It's a better question. A significantly better question. Don't blame that shit on me. Don't try to turn that shit around on me. I'm just trying to keep our lanes pushed to the best of our ability. Again, trying to be a presence everywhere on the map. The enemy team was able to get boss. We should be able to defend that. But they're going to get another turn in while we're doing that. If we fight on creep while we're doing the boss, we should actually be able to get a lot of Mutalisk out to help our help our defenses here. But with Illidan here, maybe none of that matters. We'll see. I'm gonna put another creep timber down over here. Hey, welcome to the base. Here comes the hunt too, right? Am I gonna get hunted? Samurai once again going in and dying. Uther fighting in a 1v5. All right, good game, everybody. Holy shit. Holy shit. You know, I was trying real hard. I really was. I was trying really fucking hard. Maybe we can kill this spider. Keeps lost. I imagine they're going to be pushing in towards the core now. But there's nothing I can do there. Nothing I can do there. Maybe that's cleaned up. Oh, man. Terrible matches today. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I mean, even going into that with the best of teammates, we would have had a hard time with that comp. We get punished whenever we overextend. I was having to be like the most slippery version of Zagara that I possibly could have been. And having the Abathur meant we never really had a strong team fight. It's just a hard game. Hard game. Why did I not take Infest? Because I couldn't be around the ranged minions long enough to actually have them push. We had to constantly be switching lanes. And Infest only works while you're standing next to the lane minions. Well, don't let this game discourage you. Zagara is a fantastic, fantastic character. The nerfs to the Mutalisk did hurt. And the nerfs to the Nidus network did hurt as well. The enemy team is actively killing your creep, actively going after your Nidus. You could definitely find yourself in a position like I was kind of in this game, where it's really difficult to kind of always have... Oh, sorry, hit the mic, my bad. Always have that global pressure and always be creeping around. But we still kind of managed to make it work. Not Not really. We all kind of just died a bunch. The whole team just kind of fed a lot. And would fight outnumbered, and doesn't matter which character you're playing, you're never going to be able to solve that problem. If you want to follow along at home, the build we used was Volatile Acid, Serrated Spines, Viscous Acid, Nidus Network, Protective Coating, Mutalisk, and Endless Creep. The Serrated Spines get more value when you're in a lane versus one opponent. So if you're ever playing Hero League and you're on Braxis Holdout, and you want to play Zagara in the top lane, and you know you're going to be fighting one opponent for quite some time, you can get quite a few stacks on this to build it up quite nicely. In this game, we didn't get too much value because everyone was rotating all over the place, and I myself was rotating quite a lot as well. So going for Envenom Spines would be a better trade-off for actually hitting enemy heroes, and Medusa's Blades would be better for if you're just trying to split push like crazy. I wish that game went better. I'm actually so disappointed. I feel like I've gotten so much better at Zagara in the past year that I really wanted to show it off and just didn't quite have the opportunity to. Feels pretty bad, man. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at Zarya, another character I've played a lot over the past year, who I never really sunk any time to previously. Her auto attack build is really fun. You basically just turn your shields on and don't run away from anything, and most people don't expect the kinds of damage that she's able to dish out. But that'll be up tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all